Hi, welcome everybody to another Kids Cooking Kitchen Cuisine through Pasolivo. I'm Eleanor and happy Halloween! We are going to be talking about pumpkin seeds today and how to make them your own and how to make them so much fun with all of our Pasolivo products. It's really intriguing to when you really start thinking about it. Pumpkin seeds are a healthier version of popcorn. So take popcorn. We always suggest using popcorn with any of our oils and our seasonings when you're in the tasting room and we talk about all the uses. How about when you are in the season, you're carving pumpkins? Let's use all of the items. Why not, right? The kids are getting involved today. So first of all, kids, go get your hands washed. Don't be gross. Go wash your hands, get your horns on, and let's get cooking, okay guys? First step, so we'll go over kind of what we're doing here. These are the ingredients. So, I'm gonna walk over here. This is a really generic setup for a reason, because if you didn't buy the bundle, open up your Pasolivo cabinet, you know it's taking up a whole cabinet at this point, and pull some stuff out. Do you have that basil olive oil that everybody's in love with? I know you do. So if you've gone to our tasting room, you bought the basil, maybe you still have a few tablespoons left. If you do, this is perfect for you. You have that spicy Italian blend and that garlic sea salt. Use it, okay? So this is a general ingredients list for a reason. I didn't specify the specific seasonings we're using today because this will be something you can screenshot and use across the board. So, ingredients. Now we're gonna hop down to what we're doing. And the reason I'm doing this kind of quickly is because I'd love you to walk on over and turn on that oven to 350. You know that's one of my pet peeves about cooking shows is when they tell you, put it in the oven, your oven is ice cold. Also, start boiling some water. Then, and salt it. And from then, we'll start playing with pumpkin guts. Yay, everybody's favorites. So, the kids have now washed their hands, right? Adults, so take a look at this. I'm gonna walk back over. Adults, I researched the best tool for the trade here, the weapon of choice, and we all get the kits with these guys in, and then they break halfway through, or maybe that's just mine. Maybe I just have anger issues. But these are the items that have come in the multiple kits that we have bought because one item has broken or we've forgotten where we put them because they're this big. And they end up in the washer and you're like, I don't want this for the rest of the year, so you toss it. Sometimes they come with this super scoop thing though, with this. So the kits are kind of worth it sometimes. If you don't have that, I did actually do some research on the best type of knife to cut squash in general. And a knife that has the divots right here like this was the best type of knife because what this is going to do is stop the knife from sticking to the flesh as you're cutting. So you're going to be able to saw in without it dragging and pulling and doing too much muscle work. So nobody screenshot this, okay? All right. So this is the type of knife they suggested. Obviously, if you're going intricate and you're going to be carving afterwards, my suggestion is, honestly, if you're going to be doing this year after year, if you have kids, you absolutely are. My suggestion is to get one of those Dremels, and they have the little saw parts to it that you just Dremel in, and it just makes stuff easier. Hey kids, you know how you wash your hands? The other rule is always don't touch the sharp stuff, especially if dad has a Dremel or mom has a Dremel. Let's not touch those. I don't want to be in charge of any of that. We don't need realistic blood on our pumpkin quite yet. I thankfully sawed through my beautiful pumpkin a little early so that you didn't have to deal with that ridiculousness. So if you are following along, cut into that pumpkin. I've got the oven going, I've got the water boiling, so a lot of balls in the air right now, but I think that's probably the hardest part of this whole deal. So get all of the seeds out. And see how there's flesh attached to all of these guys right here? Mine's not half as gooey, and I was kind of hoping you guys would watch me just gooey everything, and I'm a little bummed, but also really thankful that nothing's gonna slide from my fingers from here on out. So there is meat on here as well as seeds. If it's big enough to just pull off, do that. But if not, that's exactly why we have, well, one of the million reasons we have that salted water boiling. There's a ton of good reasons. I don't know how I've never heard of this or done this before, but if you boil the seeds for about 10-15 minutes in salted water, not only are you going to make sure that the seeds are nice and juicy and plump, but also you're softening the shell, so it's going to be easier for your tummy to digest. And you're also going to make it so that when you do put it in the oven, the shell's going to crisp up beautifully. The inside's going to stay nice and squishy and soft. So that's the salted part of it and the water part of it. On top of that, the boiling part of it is the fact that all of the ickiness that is sticking on to these seeds will cook off. So no joke, I did it twice yesterday to test run because I wanted to make sure I wasn't lying to you. You're welcome. My seeds came off completely clean. It was pretty crazy. So these are the test run from yesterday. Check it out. Nice and clean. So I didn't realize that was a possibility. I thought the store people had, like, I don't know, put bleach on them. I questioned everything. So I was really surprised and shocked to know that if you just boil them up, it's a win across the street. So let's just do that every time. It just makes sense. Obviously, the downfall is it's going to be toasty when it comes out of the boiling water. So just make sure you have a colander, a sieve, a slotted spoon, and that's how you're scooping them out. They cool super quickly, so don't worry about little hands for the boiling hot part of it, but just for a second, and then they cool down, and then you'll be able to do the mixing. All right, so I've got my water boiling. I've done the digging. Real time, people. And I'm gonna toss all of this. Yeah, I'm talking all of this. All of this is going into the pool. They're already in the pool. And I'm just gonna boil these guys up. Make sure you've put that kosher salt in there. So that's one of our items. And I kind of missed it on the bundles. But again, if you're following along time and again, kosher salt is in pretty much everything we do. So buy it just to have it, because you know that every recipe is going to be calling for it at some point. Even the margarita recipes, even the cocktail recipes, they all seem to be calling for the kosher salt. So just have it on hand. It's just a useful thing to have. I'm going to drop all of this stuff into the boiling water. There we go. And I'm going to let that hang out. I've got my olive wood spoon. I have not oiled it in a bit, so it's looking a little sad, but you guys know that we sell olive wood, right? Because our spoons, our bowls, our cutting boards, everything, they're so gorgeous. Make sure that you go to our website, go to our tasting rooms. Our tasting rooms have a plethora of olive wood that's just gorgeous and really good gifting. Why am I bringing up gifting? Because the holidays are right around the corner, and yeah, it's one of those unique things that you are not going to, it's not going to be like, oh, this is exactly like the one I already have. That won't happen because they're all handmade, all completely unique. So definitely think about that if you are in Paso, if you live here, if you're local, or if you want to give us a call and say, hey, I'm looking for a bowl, give us dimensions. We'll take pictures, we'll send it to you. That's the kind of customer service you get with us. Well, we try at least, right? So yeah, really good stuff. You can unite this with a bundle. That's a cute gift as well. So keep that in mind. We're not just oils, we're not vinegars, we're not just seasonings, we're everything for the kitchen. So I'm gonna stir this up a little bit. Let that hang out. And then I'm going to do that whole magic of thing. And this is the magic of, oh, wash my hands. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that there's a sink here. Magic of TV. When seeds go that way and I go this way and they're right here, what? Okay, so these are those seeds that I showed you before. Here's something fun and to keep you on your toes. I opened up 2 pumpkins last night, around the same size. One yielded a 1.5 cups of seeds and the other one 2 cups. So again, the instructions, all of it, the directions, the ingredients, it's going to be to taste. And I know that's kind of a bailout and I apologize, but every pumpkin is different, so you're gonna have to measure out and kind of go with that. This is a really good starting point. But it's nature, right? We're all dealing with nature here. So this is approximately 1.5 cups of pumpkin seeds. You can see that they're white. You can hear that they're dry, and that's because I did, let's see, number 5. See that asterisk? So number 5 on the instructions list here, the directions list, is if you have time, take those seeds that you've just brought out of the boiling water, strain them, and then put them on paper towels for the night. If you can, that's going to help. It's going to lower the cooking time, and that's also going to help with the crispiness level. I know if you have kids, you're looking at me laughing and maybe even crying a little bit like, time, what is that? I get it, and I'm with you, and your kids are right next to you saying, Mom, I'm gonna carve it, Mom, blah, blah, blah. And maybe you do. Put them to the side and carve the pumpkin and then come back to them. Or you just get after it because the kids are really wanting them yesterday, right? They see the pumpkin seeds and they're like, why can't we eat them immediately? And you're like, go ahead, because they're gonna be gross. So if you're gonna do it immediately, you can. Don't worry about it. They might be a little bit more chewy. That's fine. No big deal. The flavors are gonna be amazing. If you're going to wait and have them overnight, then they've got this nice dry consistency, and you'll be able to add new flavors in with the new oils. The reason I've got these on is because we're going a little picante today. We've got a little bit of devilish heat in there today because we're adding in not only the Smoky Spice, but I'm also going to add in that seafood blend. That's got a little kick to it, which I adore. It's not too much. You guys know I'm a weenie for heat. I'm not a huge fan of heat, so I'm not trying to, have you guys reaching for the milk and like throwing it on your bodies. But it does kind of elevate everything. So I'm going to be putting in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a tablespoon of kosher sea salt. I know that seems like a lot, but these guys are really bland, so it's going to suck up a lot. And then a tablespoon of each seasoning and put all of that in. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to go grab this stuff, put it in, and get it all going and stirring. All right, so we've got the oil. And because we've got the kiddos going on at home here, if they want to stir with fingers, they've already put their hands in the pumpkin. I mean, make them wash it so the guts don't go back into the seeds, but have them stir with fingers. It's a lot of fun. It's tactile. It's not like it's raw meat. So this is all stuff that they can do with their fingers. So I'm using this guy, the garlic lemon. I like the garlic lemon with that seafood blend. I like the garlic lemon with that Smoky Spice blend. I think it has that nice tartness from the Meyer lemon. It's got that little hint of the garlic. Again, like I said at the beginning, you can use any of our oils and any of our seasonings. If you ever have any questions, comment below and say, hey, what goes with this? Would this work with this? We will help you out. Hey, I've got the Tuscan Evo. What will work with that? And we'll help you out with pairing stuff. That's what we're here for. We want to make sure that you don't have an olive oil or a seasoning just sitting there hanging out and you're like, what did the tasting room staff tell me about with this? So this guy, for today, again, you can play. And then we're doing, you can tell this has got a little bit of heat to it. This is a seafood blend. Another reason I use the seafood blend is because a lot of people go, oh, but I don't eat seafood. I'll tell you, I have used this time and again and have not used it on seafood yet. I've used it on beans. Chef Rachel, if you guys remember Pair with Chef Rachel, she put this on sweet corn with the cheese and the cilantro. Oh my gosh. So again, you don't have to, just because it says seafood food blend does not mean you've got to put it just on seafood. So we're gonna do that. I always call it like a Cajun meets Old Bay kind of vibe. So you could, it would be amazing in a crab boil. It would be fantastic with scallops, but rice, meats, veggies, it works for all of those. Okay, so we've got that guy. Oldie but goodie, the Smoky Spice. Oh man, I love this stuff. I use this for seasoning taco meat. I use this for making kale chips. I use this on popcorn. It's got a great snacky kind of flavor to it. Works really well with ribs and beans and all of that barbecue-y type vibe. So it's got a smoky, it's got a smoked paprika in it. It's got a nice sweetness to it. It works well as a rub. Okay, I'll stop singing its praises, but that's going into the pool too. All right. And then of course our kosher salt. So it is all going in. There we go. I'm gonna grab that olive wood spoon and I'm stirring all of these guys around. So we're just coating and making sure everything is well coated. There we go. Okay. Perfect, so that's a beautiful coating. If you are gonna be serving this to kiddos, if you're worried about the heat a little bit, you can either pair it up with something. I'm gonna be showing you how to kind of make a Chex Mix kind of vibe with it. If you want to pull that seafood blend, you can. If you're gonna be pairing it up for adults to grab and snack on while they're having some, red wine or beer or something, this is a great way to go. Bundle this as you make this, put it in a Ziploc, grab your beers and walk your kids to do trick-or-treating. I don't know if that's legal or not. Cover up your beer. Don't bring your beers. But put this in a Ziploc and have this as your snack as you're walking around, because you're going to be out there for a bit and you're going to get hungry and you're reaching for that Snickers bar. And give it time, because we're all eating. I'm eating all the Reese's, that's for sure. I don't even think my kids know what Reese's tastes like. Oh gosh, mean mommy. Okay, so here's this guy. I said the foil for the cookie sheet, and you know how I love my Silpats. Those are those cool rubbery kind of coverings for baking. I usually use those, but what I love about the foil is that once you lay it down on the foil, cook it, then you create a funnel with the foil to pour it somewhere. There's no good way of tipping the seeds into a bowl with them not ending up everywhere and the dog's getting half of them because they've landed on the floor, right? So if you can coat everything with foil, you can lift it up, make it a nice funnel, and funnel it into your bowl, your Ziploc, wherever it's going afterwards. All right, so we are going to be taking this guy right here, dumping all these guys out. All right. And laying them out. So I love it when people say, well, make sure it's in a single layer. It's like, lady, that's impossible. Look, they're all sticking together. Just do your best. And what I suggest about this is that you're putting them in for 350, 10 to 15 minutes. That's the beginning of it. It may take a bit longer. If you haven't dried them a bit, it may take a bit longer. So you're keeping an eye on them. I would suggest every about 5 minutes, reaching in there, stirring them again. That's going to allow for an even roast. And it's going to have you keeping an eye on, okay, where are we at right now? How is this looking? Does this look good, or do we need a little bit more time? So you'll be able to tell by scent. You'll be able to by telling the brownish, that golden brownish that comes from a nice roasted pumpkin seed. That is when you'll be getting ready to pull them. Again, everything is to taste. If the seasoning is too much, pull some. If it's not enough, drop some in. I made the sweet version last night, and I liked the idea of drizzling some olive oil on them afterwards. So that's why when you look at the ingredients, you see 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons for tossing, and then another tablespoon for afterwards for drizzling, give or take, because it really ramps up the flavors. So I'm gonna take this, put it into my oven, and then I'm gonna give you some ideas with the sweet version. So we're gonna do more of that miracle of TV. We're popping that guy in here. Get this roasting. I'm gonna time it on my watch. And what I did want to point out was I made, let's see, again. I'm gonna do this. I showed you that this is what I made last night. So these are the sugar and spice blend, the tangerine, and yeah, the kosher salt, because it actually brings out the flavors of the sweetness, surprisingly. So you do want that salt in there too to balance it out. I also used some brown sugar, so you'll see in the ingredients, brown sugar is in there too. That adds a little bit of sweetness, again, elevates everything. It's up to you if you want to use sugar. If not, you don't have to. The flavor is all-encompassing, it's beautiful. Also, give your potpourri, your scented candle, a night off, because I cooked this and I was asked, why does my house smell like Christmas? It's because all of these beautiful scents were just flying through the house. I went in, took a shower, came back out, and was like, wow, why does the house smell so good? Oh, right, I did that. Purely through cooking with this stuff, because of that tangerine smell that you're getting. We always cover this in the tasting room, so I'm repeating stuff you already know, because you've been to the tasting room by now, I know you have. That we don't infuse our oils, it's oil to oil. So when you cook with our flavored oils, that scent, that flavor gets bigger, gets brighter, gets bolder, unlike infused oils. So infusion is like putting the leaves on the top and, you know, crossing your fingers like a T, hoping that flavor is going to kind of sink into the oil. We do oil to oil, so the oil of the citrus to our Evos paired up. So when you cook with them, that scent just covers the house and it's just gorgeous. So yeah, my house smells like Christmas right now, which is a win. I haven't had to light a scented candle, and with boys, that's saying something. So the reason I poured these guys out is because I wanted to cover, I know we're getting into the holiday season where just health just goes out the window, and I'm speaking for myself more than anybody else. I wanted to kind of allow you to kind of breathe easy with all of this. I'm gonna turn this guy off, it's all done. And if you guys have been doing that at home, you'll see that the seeds are nice and clear by now. Nice, they're not coated with any of the ickies anymore. I wanted to cover, and I wrote it down because I'm not gonna remember all this, the nutrition of a whole pumpkin seed. For 5 grams, it's 1 ounce. There's fiber, there's zinc, there's phosphorus, there's potassium, there's magnesium, there's iron, there's calcium. In 1 ounce, there's 5.3 grams of protein. Anybody who follows any dietary restrictions, trying to get more protein into your body, that is a push to get anything with 5 grams or more in your body without having to choke down a full chicken breast. This is such an easy snack to get that health benefit from. I was shocked to see all of the goodness that came from pumpkin seeds. It's vegan, it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, it's paleo-friendly. Why aren't you eating these daily? I don't know, I'm not, I should be. It's just a win-win when it comes to flavors and goodness. So with that being said, I wanted to show you, I'm gonna set this down a little bit. And check my timer, we're good here. All right. I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing with pumpkin seeds, which I really love. And this is, we've got our pumpkin seeds, right? And this is the sweet version. And our kids are walking around wanting candies and stuff. what if you take this sweet version, if I do this and funnel it like I suggested we all did. All right, so ta-da! See, that's what I'm talking about. I love it when things work the way I said they would. Okay, so what if you do that and then pair it up with some grams and pair it up with some candy corn, maybe some more festive flavors, right? Flavors and colors. So, what about that as a kid snack? Think about the fiber, and again, getting fiber into your body is also ridiculously hard. Trust me, I tried to work on that when I was looking at macros and micros, and it is really hard. There's not a lot of fiber out there in the world if you're trying to eat it naturally, and this has so much good stuff that it almost forgives the fact that there are Reese's that I will be picking out of there, and a few grams and candy corns, but look how beautiful that looks. Serving that as a little side dish when you're doing your, when you're, I don't know, having friends over, if you want to bring little baggies of that as thank yous to all of the houses you've trick-or-treated at. I think this is such a cute little bundle. So there's that. Also, if you are planning on doing the savory ones, there's bundles for that too. So little cheese balls, Cheez-Its, it's cheese heavy. I don't know why, maybe it's because I created it. Those little veggie chippy chips, all of those going in. And think about that with the ones that are gonna be coming out of the oven. That nice spice that's in there, that is gonna be beautiful all together. So even serving them separately like that would be a total win. So those are great ideas. I would love, I know this is gonna be posted on Instagram, this is gonna be posted on Facebook, this is gonna be posted on our YouTube. Please be subscribing to all of those guys so that you follow along with everything. But comment, let us know all the flavors that you've put into your pumpkin seeds. This is a great idea, not only for now, but for later. If you're sitting down watching a mobster movie and you do that basil and that spicy Italian and the roasted garlic sea salt, let us know what you're doing with your oils. And if you have any questions, that's what we're here for. Make sure that you stick with us next week. A whole new exciting venture. I told you I like cheese, right? We're having a cheese bite pairing. So we have a chef who has worked with multiple creameries, and he's going to be pairing up their cheeses with our oils, seasonings, honey, balsamics, you name it. He's bundling them all together. Take a look at the bundle because it is just this beautiful, self-contained bundle. I wanted to make sure I'm covering everything. So he is, let me make sure I've got his name right, Chuck Kellner. And the bundle is right behind me. So I'm gonna go grab it and show you all the things that are gonna be showcased. So if you've been to our tasting room, you know that the lemon, olive oil, and the blackberry balsamic go beautifully together as a salad dressing, as a seasoning, as a tenderizer. He's going to be using these two with cheese, along with, I'm so excited for this. I always tell people in the tasting room, try the honey with some dried cheeses, with cheeses. It works beautifully on a charcuterie plate. It's happening. It's happening. He's going to tell us how to do it. We've got that sugar and spice blend. You have it from this week. Keep a little bit of it for next week as well. And, my household cannot live without the truffle salt. So the truffle salt is being part of this too, is going to be part of this too. We've got the chimichurri and the spring blend. The chimichurri is a newish addition, so you might be hearing that for the first time. So he's going to show you how to interact with this, with his cheeses, and then the spring blend as well. So that's kind of dill focused. I've got a million ways to use this. I'm excited to hear his. So all of those are going to be used with Central Coast Creamery Stepladder Creamery, and Cowgirl Creamery. So we've got 2 local creameries, and Cowgirl Creamery, I don't think there's anybody who doesn't fall in love with their stuff. So I'm thrilled to see how he interacts with all of it. I'm also kind of excited because just like the happy hours, because I consider this a cheese happy hour basically, just like the happy hours where I get the cocktails, I'm getting the cheese. I know, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have shown off like that, but I get the cheese and I'm very excited. So I will be trying it along with you guys. There is an opportunity for you guys to go ahead and hop onto those websites, grab the cheeses, grab this bundle, and play along. You will not be cooking, so you don't have to freak out about turning on the oven. You're good, just grab those cheeses, grab this bundle, and set it up. Maybe do a little tasting event with some of your friends, invite them over, and all play along. So we're excited for next week. We're in November already. Let's celebrate with dairy. Let's do this. I love cheese. Okay, thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, always fire it off. It's always a pleasure to have you guys. Kids, I hope you had fun. Wash your hands. I want to see you guys posing with your pumpkin seeds in your cutest costume or craziest costume or scariest costume. And we'll see you guys next week, 2 o'clock Friday. I'll be here. I hope to see you. Okay, bye guys.